Hello there, welcome to Raise the Bar, and I'm your host, Mifra. If you've been with us, last week we had an athlete turned coach, Zulsha Alibah, who spoke of his athleticism and his introduction to the world of CrossFit. We also touched on his life-altering event that made him who he is today, a mentally resilient athlete. Let's welcome Zulsha Alibah. Hi, Zulsha.
Hi,
welcome
Mifra.
back.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you back on my show again.
Thank you very much inviting me. First of all, I just want to give that shout out, unlike last time. And I really wanted to showcase my experience in my own platform itself. But apparently, you invited me, so I believe this is a good opportunity to give a shout out.
And thank you for coming on board.
Thank you very much.
All right. Zulsha, in our article that's coming out this week, you spoke of, in fact, you mentioned few areas that you think had helped your clients progress in their fitness journey and to have true transformation. And one of the main areas that you spoke of is the importance of building the mental grit or the resilience to be able to push through those tough times and to sustain the progress for a long period of time. So let's start off with your life. How did your life-altering event help you build that mental resilience that helped you become that fitness engine that you are today?
Cool. So also before I start, I just want to give a quick recap from the previous podcast itself. So as I also have an athletic background, as I said before, I have participated in multiple sports, such as as a field runner, and then doing group sports or team sports, and then individual sports as well, and then transferring into certain. I'm not sure how if I should call it as a sport itself, but do it it's like a discipline and certain tasks that involve. Yet you keep doing activities. We call that cadeting, and then I just have been selected to this team called Battalion Cadet Platoon. In school. So that also transferred into certain details in sport of CrossFit, and then I just switched into sport of CrossFit.
Right.
So and then I've been doing that for like over almost a decade now. Okay, and then
that's CrossFit, right?
CrossFit I'm talking about right now. And then actually those previous sports that I discussed before, those experiences got me to do well in this current sport that I'm involved in.
Right.
And then unfortunately, as you're going to talk right now, that I've went through a life-altering situation and experience, and also how I bounced back.
That's right, yeah.
And so with that experience, how I manage my clients, or the message that I convey to them is that first of all, we discussed before about how we be consistent with the basics and how we put them into practice. Okay.
So when you say basics, those are the fundamental movements of fitness that you want them to sort of strengthen before moving into more demanding or more difficult
specifically
aspects of the sport?
Specifically if you talk about movements, I would say yes, before you move forward into complex movements, okay, first of all you need to understand the fundamentals.
Okay.
If I take my experience after this life-altering situation, which is I faced an motor crash, okay, which I was literally not functioning 100%. Being a high-level athlete at that moment and not being able to function 100%. Actually, that got me into for some extent into a depression. But yet, I didn't dwell on that.
Right.
What I believe, when you talk about mental resilience, I guess it's the practice of the mental resilience. That's coming through the workouts you've gone through, the grueling workouts, okay, and the intense workouts, and then you don't quit at that moment as an athlete. But you think of no, you have your techniques,
Yeah.
you develop techniques,
Okay.
you think of, okay, how to survive at that moment, your fight and flight mode at the moment. So those habits came into play
Right.
when I had to bounce back or think of, okay, all right, what I need to do next
Yeah.
to improve myself. So I believe with that experience together, when a client needs that motivation, those instruction, that's when I tell them, okay, this is what you need to do specifically, exactly, the step by step.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I believe I usually tell clients, like, if they have, like, if they question me as a coach, okay, like, how I can help them. What I usually say is, like, please don't question me in that case,
Yeah.
because this is my experience.
Yeah.
There's a reason you approached and came to me to receive something out of me.
Yeah.
So this is the breakdown, I tell them. And then so they sort of build trust on me, because obviously you can't question my situation and how I bounced back out of it.
Yeah.
So what I did was, like, first of all, start practicing what I've been doing before. Like, like, obviously you can't jump into all me back again.
Yeah.
You need to build the foundation as we were discussing.
Okay.
One by one, step by step. So first of all, we're talking about movements. I would say I didn't start lifting weights right away.
Yeah.
Made
You
sure
couldn't, right?
I couldn't, no
Yeah,
chance.
you had broken ribs and
I was fragile.
Yeah, exactly.
I was fragile. And then I made sure how to prevent that first. Starting with recovery, obviously. Started doing my usual, I would say, meeting the doctors, following their instructions, and then diagnosing certain details as such. Then, actually, nutrition has a vital play on this.
Right.
Okay,
Bouncing
so
back to your fitness level.
100%. Like, I don't want to get in detail, like, when it comes for nutrition, because it's a very complex subject to talk about. I don't want to give, like, just, examples. Yeah. And then starting with nutrition itself, high in nutrients, okay, quality nutrients first of all, I would say, and then I made sure first of all to stick into that.
Okay.
Then obviously my recovery process, and then coming into movements, I started with my own body weight.
Okay.
If you're talking specifically about movements, that's what I did.
Okay.
But also I did, like, the usual activities that as a human what we should do, like, just walk,
Just general
be able to walk,
day-to-day things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, be able to walk,
Okay.
be able to sit down and stand up, be able to run. Okay, start absorbing impacts. So, this example, like, jumping. I should not jump at that moment.
Yeah.
I couldn't jump actually. And then, but yet still, like, do certain things what help me to be able to do them. Okay. And some activities such as, like, swim, all right, which I really love to do usually. And then
That's a really good recovery as well, isn't it?
very
The
well,
slow
very
swimming.
100%. And then what I would do is, actually, I pick a time also that I can stay under the sun and then swim also. Okay. So that became a habit. So those habits led me into get better, obviously. And then then I think it took me about 3 to 4 months to get back to the gym.
Okay.
And then actually I have to thank to my community. Actually, they gave a warm welcome as I entered the gym. And then luckily I documented that as well. And then hi Ceylon folks, So yeah, and thanks for welcoming me at that time. But then I felt so empowered.
Okay.
And then also motivated to get myself together.
Okay.
All right. So at that time, actually, if there are certain footages, you can see, like, I wouldn't, like, functioning well. It's just still limping, like, when I went into
it just felt good to be back in the
felt
box.
very good, actually, back into my own old stump yard. Anyways, so yeah, and then only I started doing the basics, working on my body weights, assistant training, and then even for metabolic conditioning, I didn't do high intensity workout. Just get on the machine and then stay for long time period, understanding the movement, understanding the heart rate intensity as such. So those are the experience, those habits, what I implement as I modify them even better to my clients when they approach me for their well-being. So
you know when a client is lacking and finding it hard to push through those sets, you know it has to do with their mindset.
Exactly.
And you actually, through your experience too, you know how to sort of push them through those hard times, right?
When to take a break, when not to take a break, when to push and not to push, like that. So, and then even when they question themselves, why am I doing this? Why do I have to get this intensity? You don't have to every time, all the time, go hard or go home. Just like there are times that you push the limit, but at that time the questions comes in. That's when you need to answer them properly. Why did I start this? Why I'm going to stop it right now?
Is there an example you can give of a client who had that kind of mental resilience?
Yes,
to
actually,
push through?
I don't want to be specific because
you don't have to mention names, but just how it happened.
Actually, I honestly have to give that boy my props to showing up on the team again, because I thought when I got to know that he broke his ankle.
Okay.
Once he broke it, because he was performing very well. His numbers are he hitting new numbers, and then because we are based on the program, actually there's a cycle on the program, and then based on that, it's just like you get to test your peak level, right? Just to perform at that certain sport. So he was doing very well and very disciplined kid, and then he's obeying whatever I say, and so then I got to know that he has injured his ankle, which is not injured. It's basically it's like broken his ankle, which he has to go through a surgery, and then so usually it takes a while to recover. It's recover what matters whenever you're getting injured. You right away can't do your rehabs and then whatever stuff you've been doing. Then he approached me and told me this is what happened. I don't think, do you think that I can continue? And then, first of all, before I give in my opinion, I asked, what's doctor's opinion? You have to have the process. You just can't be, that like everything. Just have to, there's a system in place, right? So
you have to go through the process.
Exactly. And then when I asked him, it's like, this is the timeline doctor has given. Okay. After this, he suggested or he recommended that he should follow through this process, and then it's like, okay, cool, take a break. You still have the time for the season. Okay.
So he's someone who was training to compete.
He was
compete at a sport, or
so he was so it was his season at that time.
Right. Okay, CrossFit again?
Not CrossFit actually. I don't want to mention the specific sport itself. Sport itself, I would say it's rugby. Okay. Right. Yeah. And then so I don't want to mention the specific school or that event itself. So anyways, and then he broke his ankle, and then he was obviously, I expected what he's going to go through. Okay, it's like, okay, buddy, it's all right. Take a quick break. Okay, I would say about for a month or so. Just but still, although I've given the break, I just tell him to rest. Also, there's a nurturing process. Just can't let him suffer by himself. I need to connect with the client. I need to make sure his check his well-being. It's like I usually once a week or twice a week, I just make sure it's like, hey buddy, how's the recovery? How's it going? How you feel mentally? Are you ready to get back in the game? It's like apparently he's a very tough kid. Mentally he was strong, but not physically. Obviously, it's just like you need to fix it before you perform, right? So then that's a great example that kid is. Again, then it's like I don't know, coach. It's just that I feel like I can't function still. There's a niggle when I put pressure on that. But will I be able to get back? Obviously, my answer is like, hell yeah.
Of course.
So that's my answer. It's like I didn't say the reasons, but that's my direct answer. And then it's like then I believe like it developed his motivation. And then a couple of weeks again, he's like, yeah, doctor gave the green light, but I need to start with the basics.
Right.
That's the word actually I expected. And then I started like structuring the program accordingly. And then all right, I'll see you at the center. All right, and then comes and then so crazy to say that he came with his not cast, what you call that? What do you
the
call
clutches.
The clutches.
Yeah.
I got into a shock. That got me I'm having flashbacks of my situation. It's like because I didn't. Plus to say that like I was provided, actually I had a like very nice community. One of the members actually provided me the clutches, the wheelchair and stuff. It's like my ego is way too much. And then I was like, I'm sorry, I just like I just mentioned that I'm using it, but I didn't even touch that actually. It was same at the same place.
Okay.
So he came with the clutches, and then I was like, God damn, what has happened? This guy used to be like a Iron Man, like he's a rock solid guy, and then just like he's broken. And then it's like, but are you broken inside?
Yeah.
Are you ready to bounce back? So those are the first things I tested on him before physically.
Right.
Because there's a correlation, right? For progress in that case. So I just made sure before coming physically, I asked mentally questions.
Are you prepared?
Are you prepared? Are you ready? It's like, I am ready, but I can't function. I can't proceed. It's like, okay, that's enough. I just need that first. I just need inside, because that thing comes internally by yourself. I can teach it, but execution is upon you. Okay, so and then I was like, I would say 50%, 40% of the progress is done now. Okay, so I just try to make sure that I maintain that. So the only disadvantage I would say in the infrastructure of Sri Lanka is this like the mindset game in sports. In Sri Lankan sport, we don't have that. Like we say, obviously we have strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
We have skill and technique practices as such, okay, but we don't have this a mental game. We don't have psychological game, but during the sport, during the event, we might utilize that, but we haven't been taught. I haven't been taught, because I played multiple sports. I didn't experience neither. Okay,
the support,
okay, so but I gained them through my own experience, because obviously as I also in the previous podcast said that I'm grateful to be a pioneer in this sport, and thanks to my cousin for introducing for sport of CrossFit. But when we started this, as I said, we didn't have any instructions, we didn't have any guidelines or guidance itself. So we had to do our own research, our own implementation, and to get better on this sport. But imagine, just imagine at that time we had those resources. I'm not talking about the sport itself. If we had the basic resources, we would learn, we would execute probably. And because and as we were discussing offline, okay, we were talking about genes, right? So we were talking about genes of foreign athletes, but what about our genes? We are we are rough riders. We're coming off a war. We are coming off crisis itself, and then we have that what do you think we won the 1996 World Cup, first of all, because that mindset we have in our genes. Okay, so but only thing we are lacking is those resources, the infrastructure. Okay, that's why we hardly find international players. If we find international players, that's not that they didn't benefit from the country itself. They have gone overseas and then utilized those resources to represent our country.
Of course,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, mental resilience, mental psychological game matters in the sport. So that's when I asked him, like, all right, cool. Then what we need to do is this is what. And imagine he just like, I just need to do something. Just need to move. It's like, I agree. So and then obviously with my expertise, I made sure that there are certain movements that what he has to do, avoiding those impact areas. Just make sure that he's stronger and he's moving, getting some sweat out of it, and then mental clarity out of that workout as such.
And I suppose it sort of helped him build his self-worth and self-perception about himself as well, isn't it?
Correct.
Like, he thought I could do it. Like,
exactly. So he didn't lose his faith. It's just like, okay, cool, I can still lift it. But yeah, he might feel the stimulus when he doing certain movements. But it's just that his it's for. I would say specifically that person itself. Like, I believe the way he's built up also helped him out. But whoever doesn't have that experience and then comes to me, I would first make them realize why they are doing this, why they're starting this, what's the end goal, what's their find the requirement, okay, and then based on that, then deliver. So I should not deliver what I want, right? They are coming for their requirements. So I had to coordinate accordingly. So and that's what comes in play when it comes for mental resilience. And then gradually he did his recovery. Obviously, I've been having his pep talks with him, and then he ended up getting back. I would say bouncing back, and then every time when he does something something very that when it comes for these complex details, and then I was like, how you feel? How's the how well you can get the impact? Okay, are you feeling good? Are you feeling pain and niggles? Like no, yes, no. Based on the answer, I adjust the program, and then. I increase the stimulus accordingly.
Right. Okay, perfect. Nice. Zulsha, you seem to be empowering your clients by shifting their self-perception in order to build the kind of confidence they need to progress in their fitness journey. And we spoke about that in the article in detail. Could you elaborate how you sort of foster this in them? I know the clients may be coming to you with, I can't do this particular movement, or I am not fit enough. They come probably with a negative mindset. How do you alter their perception?
Okay, that's been a good question. So first thing what I ask is that, what made you do this? What made you think about taking this decision? First thing, either to approach me or to approach this activity specifically. So. And then if you people don't randomly take decisions, right? As we're talking about the self perception, okay, so they must have thought something else before they take that decision. Okay, I need to.
Something would have triggered for them to make that decision.
I would say that's the term actually. Okay, and then so. With that, how I would approach is that, as I was discussing before, I would ask the the main requirement, why they need to do this specifically if it's sport. Why do you want to do this sport? What's your goal? What's your intent behind that? And then it could be even just doing for their well-being, or for to improve their movements or improve their health. Or probably some people come for their to improve their body composition, or to get in shape as such. So. Decision has been taken. Again, as I said before, execution is upon you.
Okay.
I will help you in and out. That's my profession. That's my expertise. Whatever I have to coordinate with them and provide any details them to improve, I will do that. But there are few certain details that not in my control. Is that clear? Like, so that being said, I would first of all, that's why we have this consultation process.
Right. Okay.
That's when we question them. So these questions come during that time. So I would say, if you are a professional coach, there has to be systems in place. That's one of the system in the process. So that's where we identify, even to provide those answers about self, why they had that self-perception about themselves. Okay. So, and then based on that requirement, we adjust programs.
Right.
And then obviously they will not get misguided. So if in case if something not been provided, they have the ability to question the coach. That's why I have always this thing telling my clients is like, feel free to question me if you have. That's why you paying me for. Okay, and they get the service out, right? And then if I can't answer that specific question in detail or with proofs or evidence-based answers, I'm not worthy. You should not come to me or to anyone else.
Yeah.
It could be any coach. Okay, yes, person might look jacked, ripped, or well-performing, but can that person deliver as well? Or provide that service as a coach. So that's why I believe that's why my clients are very comfortable and confident when they train with me. And then actually I had many clients that once they prevented the injury, they're like, I call them the free birds actually. And it's like, yeah, that's the intent. Not that I constantly keep it occurring and then they come and just get my service, right? Just like the goal is finish it off, like just to prevent it and then make them move forward. Unless they have other requirements, so that's when they come back to me. Okay, so not only for specific requirement. And then once they complete it, just like that's a testimonial for me. Yeah, it's a testimonial for me of a progress. So yeah, and I would say every time when you question yourself, thinking of if you are able to do that, just think, why did you start?
So you believe that the self-confidence you help them build helps also to build them the strong mind and body long term. Yeah,
that's it comes with the package, I would say. It's just not only the physical ability, it's the mental ability. There's a correlation. And then always, as I said, when they if they get to question themselves, it's the execution is upon them. They need to question themselves first of all. Why did they start? What's the end goal, or at least what's the intent behind that decision? And then, as I said, stay consistent. Consistency is key.
Okay, there you go. So it actually takes me to the next question, like what does long-term progress mean to you? How do you sort of allow your clients to sustain for a long period of time? It's a mental game, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to prepare them mentally first, be able to sort of step by step build themselves to believe that they can get somewhere they want to.
100%. If your mind muscle doesn't work, all right, your physical ability, I don't think if you can even function well, because that's what actually in my experience, when I couldn't do a single lunge, I used to lift weights before my crash, but post crash, when I can't even move my own body, I just I felt like what has happened to me.
First of all, you had to build your mindset back again to think that you could do it.
But I think it's certain there are situations and experiences. So for me, it was losing my father. Okay, and at the same year, I was just after a few months later, this happened, and then I didn't want to disappoint my mother. Okay, and then I don't know if I'm getting actually emotional, but I'm just saying so. And obviously, as a kid, I don't want to look or sound like a loser. Definitely, just like I'm mother's boy. So just want to show or showcase this is who I am. And then just I believe that's my experience though. So when I saw, I don't want to disappoint her for the second time after losing my father. So I just thought I was cool. Now I had to accept the responsibility and then execute. Then what I did was like, I was on my couch when I thought I had that. I still remember, it's embedded on my mind, that thought actually. So then because I saw, like she doesn't show how sad she is, but I can feel it more than seeing it. So I just thought, okay, get myself out of the couch. I went to the garden, start doing the basic movement with my body weights. I couldn't squat, I couldn't do those things, but I decided it's like, okay, how if I give a try of doing a lunge? Oh my God, I couldn't do that. I just felt all my muscles are like, the contraction, I felt like so weird. Usually I can take it, but it's like I felt so weird. Okay, good. Just keep moving, Okay. And then as I was doing that, I felt like, okay, I'm getting a little bit of sweat out of it. Cool. I feel like I got a little bit of workout today. All right, then then I started building myself back again. And then, so that's when I started again thinking of, okay, cool. Yeah. When do I head back to the gym? So it's like that. So I take those examples, those instances to in a brief manner to explain my clients when they think of pulling back or or even I can't say giving up. If they give up, they would not show up at least, So at least when they think of okay, to make a reason to give up, those are the examples I come and tell them, and then build their emotions, okay, build their mindset, and then peacefully train them to with the movements. It's physical movements. That way, actually some foundation I have set it up to step into next one.
Okay. Zulsha, you also talk about clients taking responsibility for their own progress. And how do you embed this within them, that it's a client-coach collaboration and it should also come from them to a certain extent?
So I will communicate with my clients. I tell them these are the tasks I'll be assigning them. I'll give them a heads up basically. Okay. And this also happens, as I said before, in the consultations. Okay. And then I make sure their compliance stays on point. I mean, I've given some people have a busy life. They are busy professionals. They are probably house moms. Okay, they have kids to look after. So there are times they can't commit. Obviously, they're fair enough actually. So, but
you give that leverage. You keep that space open out to be flexible.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but still, I have given a fair rate of that I expect their compliance. If I don't get them, I mean, there's a reason, right? So that indicates they are not interested, or they're not I would say lack of discipline. I would say, especially if I say like that. Okay, and so they might be paying me for my service, but what about my credibilities? Okay, if I have clients who don't get results, it's not good for me and for my future clients, or for my platform itself. No, it's not nice. Okay, so it's not so what I would do is just I very, very well consider about the compliance, and then there are times actually I have called off this is not people who has injuries and stuff these are general details. So if people don't have much compliance, or that they don't meet that compliance rate, it's I don't work with them. Just not nice on them, neither on me. Okay. So I give it a break on them. It's just once they are settled everything, and then if they want my service, or if they are not interested on me, it's totally fine. I can't help it actually. Okay. If they again want to return back to me, they can, but these are the
so you have some
conditions.
Basics that they need to sort of agree upon.
I have my terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. You also say there is no one strategy that fits all when it comes to training. How do you sort of approach different clients with different maybe fitness levels or professions to come on board to your programs? How do you tailor make it for them?
Exactly. So that come back to the consultation process. Yeah. So that's where I identify all these step down. Actually, this is a good question to explain. So people have different requirements. This is starting from performance, starting from body composition, body recomposition, injury prevention, okay, as such. So based on those requirements, I tailor the program. I would say I might not be great at it, but I'm actually good at it. I have results. So that's why I always say, even if I give a free trial, if a person find it hard to purchase or whatever, I still help them out, because it's this industry or this profession I consider as like, something like, not as charity though, but what I'm saying is like, still some people need these resources to at least to understand, or at least to taste it, the flavor of the product. Okay, so but out of that, as a favor, I would say that, like, okay, once you, because obviously you need to then commit to your compliance and everything to get these results done, right? Once you come or receive certain results, or once you approach for some extent, at least give me a testimony. Just give me a shout. So at least I can prove or publish that this works. So it's not testing, or like, or especially it's not a testing the person, but it's just that they experience the product, they experience the coaching style, or they experience the training program. So as they also receive the results. So what I ask them is to just give a shout on that. So it's fair enough, right? So you win, I win.
And also it, I think, gives people who are out there an understanding as to, what fitness can bring into their lives.
Exactly.
And to be able to know who they should approach to.
Exactly.
You're actually giving back something to the wider community.
Because people sometimes they are misinformed.
All the time, I would say.
Exactly. Some people are misinformed. So they just, like, sometimes I have also experiences, actually, they do what they said. But that's why I always, as I mentioned before, I'll tell them, just feel free to question me. Like, you need this information. It's not only the training program. Okay, that's why I believe that's how I make my product valuable.
Yeah, you sort of cater to different professions,
Correct.
different fitness backgrounds, and from wherever they are coming.
Correct. So if I go to a coach, I will be a dangerous client if I go to a coach, because I will have a bag of questions, like, based on my requirement. I just need, if I need instant results, or like, if I want to get this thing done. So I will keep questioning the coach, but not per se, like, to disturb the coach. It's just that from my understanding, so I need information to even at least to implement by myself. So likewise, so gotta be versatile sometimes, when you also be your coach, just like, so that's why I as we discussed offline about differences of doctor to coach to a trainer.
All right. Okay. You say teamwork is dream work, and that building a community of your clients actually help them to sustain in the fitness game for a long period of time. And I know most of your training is oriented or focused on personal training. How do you foster this community, and how do you connect your clients to sort of support each other in their journey?
Now we have technology, so I utilize that.
Okay.
So I agree, actually, like, teamwork, like, helps out a lot, actually. So this example, I might I'm looking forward to, like, create groups or community stuff, like, so they can communicate, or they will understand if they're in the same page. This example, like, if I have a personal training clients, and then I will make a group for them, and then they can questions, they can put it out, and then they can, bring out humor, or like, have these community events. I'm looking that's what I'm looking forward to, like, in the future though. But right now I'm just like building up, giving them ideas, and then make sure, like, they first of all do well in my program, and then they're satisfied. So that's the requirement now they're coming for, obviously. And then we reach each requirement, we reach their goals on each requirement. So Yeah, and I have certain techniques to keep them motivated, to them to stay consistent. That's obviously that now that comes down to my responsibility, and then yeah, that's one of the strategies. I was just thinking of like creating groups, utilizing like these new sort of technologies, and also if it's possible, hang out for coffee times, and then discuss specifically based on their requirements if they will match to other person. Likewise, so it's a good.
You don't find it problemsome. You think it's actually helping your clients to have that kind of communication. It
Yeah.
helps them sort of level up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the communication, right? Just that you're sharing information, and then if whatever doesn't match your program or your requirement or your goal, they can take notes, and then based on that, they will request me, okay, how if I can implement this into my program? How if I can, will it affect me or affect the program itself? And then it's like, then I will, that's a good questions, right? So those are good questions. So I'll just ask them, all right, cool. I'll tell them, so, okay, it's actually this, if it's not suitable to them, I will say that, well, actually based on your requirement and based on this process, it won't work for you. So probably it would work. So if it does, we execute accordingly. If not, we just probably step back and then focus on our main goal, our own goals, or the process. And likewise, so that way it's easy on my job. It's easy on my job than like trying to identify personally, or like like trying to gather all the information alone. Rather take their feedbacks, take their opinions, and then put them together, and then come to a conclusion, and then just or make sure also like they are informed whatever before I execute certain details.
Before you make any changes
exactly.
to that. Zulsha, it was an absolute power-packed conversation with you today.
Thank you very much.
And I'm hoping to welcome you back again on another episode.
All right.
All right. Thank you for coming on board then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.